Hello, and welcome to my first tutorial series on YouTube. In this tutorial, we are going to make use of Blender 5.1. We are going to create a ring pop candy, and we're going to go through the modeling process. We are going to set up a camera, we are going to light the scene, then we're going to set up the candy material, the plastic material, the materials for the bubbles, and finally we are going to create a background and give it a material. At the tail end of the project, we're going to add a few elements that are going to create realism for the model. We will render an image, composite it, and save it. I hope that this course is beneficial to you in your Blender journey. Before we create the ring candy, I would like to talk about the preferences that I am using in regards to the add-ons. So if I go under Edit, Preferences, under Add-ons, I have a bunch of add-ons that I've installed. So there's Extra Curve Objects, Extra Mesh Objects, Loop Tools, Node Wrangler, and Try Lighting. If you want to install any of these add-ons, you can go to the website that is extensions.blender.org, and then you can search for whichever add-on that you want. So if I wanted Try Lighting, okay, so I've searched for it, then I can click on the add-on option, and then I can click on Get Add-on, and I'll choose Download. So when it downloads in my downloads folder, I think I already have it. That is, here it is. So I'm not going to download it again, but I have it already. So once you have it, you need to come over here to the add-ons option, and then at the top of the window, that is the top right, you click on this drop down, and then you'll choose Install from Disk. Then once you do that, you'll go to your downloads, and then you will find the add-on that you want to install. Then you can click on Install from Disk, and you will find the installed add-on in your preferences under add-ons. So those are the add-ons that I have active. Okay, so you can choose whichever ones you want, but mostly for this particular course, we're going to use the Loop Tools, the Node Wrangler, but the Node Wrangler is there by default, and I think that's it. And Try Lighting, sorry. Yeah, so those three. So that's what we're going to use. You can get rid of the preferences window, and then I want to get rid of all of these elements. So I'll hit A on the keyboard and X to bring up the delete option, and I can hit delete. So I want to model the ring pop candy to real life scale. So we'll have to set that up. So my under the view option here on the right hand side, I'm working with meters actually. So we're just going to be kind of translating the actual real life values into meters. So to do that, first of all, I'll hit Shift A, and I'll go under Mesh, and I'll add a circle. So here we are creating the candy itself for the ring pop. So in the settings for the circle that are going to pop up on the bottom left, you can change the number of vertices that we have. That is a bit much. We can also change the radius. So under the vertices, I'll choose a small number like 8. And then if I zoom in, the reason I'm choosing 8 is because I want the circle itself to be divided into half, so that I can be able to create a loop that goes around the candy quite easily. So that's why I'm using 8. But I think if you use 6 could also work, but it's not going to give you the best shape. So I'll keep it at 8. Then for the radius, the real life size of the ring pop candy is actually quite tiny. So it is 0.01 meters. So basically it's 10 centimeters. So I'll hit enter. And then on the numerical keypad, I'll click on the period key or the numpad, and then I will be able to zoom in, right? Then you can now get into edit mode. So I'll hit the tab key, and then I can hit the spacebar. So in my case, under preferences, I've set the spacebar to be able to search. So that is, if I go to edit preferences and we go to the key map, under key map, we have spacebar action, set it to search. By default, it's set to play. So in my case, it's set to search. So I will hit the spacebar and then I'll search for grid fill. So I want to create a face. So I'll click on grid fill and it creates this huge face. Actually, it's not huge, it's quite tiny. Then I can switch views. So I'll hit the tilde key. That is the key that is above the tab. And then I'll go to the right view. Then I'll hit E to extrude. I'll drag this up. Then I'll hit S to scale. Then I can move this up again. So G, Z. Then I'll hit E to extrude again. Then I'll scale this in. And we have the shape for the ring pop. Then there are a few things I'd like to add. So I'll click on the tab key to exit out of the edit mode. Then in the that is the properties on the right hand side, we're going to go to the modifiers, and in the modifier setting we're going to add a modifier. So I'll start with the bevel. So I'll click on add modifier, then I'll go to generate and I'll choose bevel. So the bevel, I want to add a small rounding on the edges. So this is quite bit much. So in the amount, I can lower this. So maybe type in a smaller value than this. So by default it's 0.1 meters. So I can type in 0.01. So 0.01. So that still doesn't make any huge change. So I'll add another 0. So it's going to be 0.001. And then things start getting better. Then I would like to see the edges themselves. So I can go to the show overlays at the top here, click on the drop down, turn on wireframe. And then now we can start making small increments. So in the amount, you can hold down the shift key and then you can start dragging and you can make small increments. But because this value is really small, it's going to be a bit difficult to make these changes. So I'm just going to manually input. So I want this to be even lower than this. So I'm going to input 0.05. This is also still a bit much, maybe 0.02. So something like that. Then I can add a segment. So that's going to be an edge loop that's going to go through the bevel's edge, right? And then I can make this even more smaller, 0.1, right? And I think this looks good. So I'll go to the overlays again, turn off wireframe. Then I can add a subdivision surface. So you click on add modifier, generate subdivision surface. That makes the edges more sharper. Then I can also select this object, right click and choose shade smooth, right? Then in the subdivision modifier, I can change the viewport levels from 1 to 2. That makes it really sharp, but you can leave it at 1 if that's what you like. But personally, I want it to be quite sharp, to have really sharp edges. I think that looks more appealing. But you can play around with it and basically look at references. Currently, I'm not using references when I'm modeling, but I would recommend that you check out a few images so that you can be able to kind of have a feel of the model itself, right? So this is how you create the candy for the ring pop.